What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and this time I'm taking a look at the Side Scrollers podcast interview with Boogie 2988, which of course I uploaded the audio earlier. It was about 2 hours of boredom. Man, it was bad, but your boy Duty sat through it and actually wanted to see if there was anything good of, good soundbite or something that may have caught my ear. And of course, yes, Boogie opened his big mouth and let out a juicy little secret that our boy Phil, aka DSP, is working behind the scenes. And you guys remember the other day he was talking about, oh, don't worry, I'm working on something, it's going to be coming out really soon, you guys are going to love it, but I can't say much about it. Apparently Boogie spilled the beans in this interview. So in it, Craig asked Boogie if he has a relationship with DSP. They started talking about the whole podcasting and how it kind of hurt Boogie and Wings because of that $50K that Keemstar wanted to give them plus a percentage, and how because DSP decided not to do it, it kind of unraveled the whole thing and it screwed Boogie and Wings up. So Boogie, of course, is going to give his insight, and sure enough, about a minute in, he spilled the beans on DSP's plans. So let's get into it.
Bizarre to me.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any relationship with Phil at all?
Not really. We're trying to put together a show, that Lolcow podcast that Keemstar pitched, and then Phil's like, "Oh no, I don't want to work with Keemstar. I don't want a $50,000 paycheck. I don't want to pay off all my debts and taxes. I'd rather be miserable. I'd rather sit in a corner and cry all over myself. I'd rather bitch for a living." Which also cost me a $50K payday, which also cost Wings a $50K payday, and I could use $50K, and I know Wings could use it, so he screwed everybody over. So I think he's trying to make it up for this with us trying to work with another third party that's not Keemstar, but I don't know if he'll follow through. I don't feel like Phil wants his problem solved. I think Phil wants to marinate in the misery of his own creation.
You could save hundreds of...
Oh my lord, I don't have ad block. Let me let this play and then cancel. But right there, folks, you hear Boogie specifically say that DSP actually talked to them and said, hey, the Lolcow podcast that Keemstar wanted to do, I'm not doing it with Keemstar, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal his idea, and I'm going to find some other third-party person that's willing to work and act as, I guess, Keemstar in the process. So Boogie let the cat out the bag. Apparently DSP is working on a Lolcow podcast that he is essentially Keemstar's idea. But what he's doing is he's cutting Keemstar out of the whole process here. So, oh my lord, DSP yet again, his plans or whatever, his super secret idea gets exposed by, of course, Boogie 2988. And of course, whenever you want something exposed, you go ahead and tell people like Boogie and Wings, they're gonna just spill the beans like idiots because they have no concept and no filter of what they should and shouldn't say. So folks, DSP is working on a Lolcow podcast that will include Boogie, Wings, and some other third party that will facilitate the Keemstar piece. So I would definitely love to know how Keemstar feels about this, being that this is his idea, and being that Phil essentially is going to try to just copy it and create this boring show that, of course, will not get... Well, it'll initially get some views because people want to see the circuits, but it'll be just like DSP's streams, and what ended up happening is that these three clowns won't have a strongman like Keemstar to keep them in check and keep them focused on the podcast and the show, and it's just going to unravel. DSP is going to feel like he's not making enough money. He's going to quit. Wings is lazy. Wings needs somebody to stay on top of him to actually do it. Look what happened to PKA. Looking at the weight loss. And Boogie is just Boogie. Boogie is boring and he thinks he knows more than what he actually does know. But as you can see how smart the man is, he actually exposes DSP top secret plan here. So let's hear a little bit more, see what he had to say, and then we'll think I will wrap it up.
It's true. I don't know if that's true. I think deep down he's scared of what it takes to actually get to that point of being happy. it's a lot of self-reflection, which you even admit he's not very good at.
Yeah.
You know, in his world, he's doing everything right, and when obviously that's wrong, and it's his delusions of grandeur, even though he thinks I pronounced it wrong. I did not. I think it's hilarious. I guess it's his illusions of grandeur, which is how he pronounced it, which is I find very humorous. But anyway, moving on from DSP though, I don't want to like just sit here and talk about DSP. Honestly,
Agreed.
I had PTSD from that DSP interview for it was 5 hours of my life I won't get back.
Yeah, hopefully it will not traumatize you today. At least if I can avoid that, I'll be happy.
Hopefully, PTSD, DSP PTSD is not a chronic condition.
DSP PTSD. That's so good.
Yeah.
So let's actually talk about what you have coming up, which is this fight against.
Okay, that's it, folks. I wanted to hear Adam crap on DSP one more time. It's always funny when he does. And yes, we all do get DSP PSTD. So, yep. So there it is. Boogie exposed DSP's plans to create a Lolcow podcast, which cuts Keemstar out and essentially steals his idea and gets some third-party person that acts like Keemstar. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section. Will this work out? Will Phil actually put the work in and actually do this? Will Keemstar find out? And what Keemstar will have to say about this should be very interesting. So I know myself, I'm going to be sending out a quick little note to Keemstar, letting him know what DSP's plans are and pointing him to this video so that he can hear for himself. And then I love to hear Keemstar's views and thoughts on DSP essentially stealing his idea and trying to move with it. Of course, we all know DSP does not have the brain power, the skills, the stamina, the energy to actually follow through with something this big and coordinating with 3 huge Lolcows. You need a strong man like Keemstar to be able to pull this off, and people with connections and people that can sell the idea, even though these 3 people are so controversial and sponsors or whoever don't want to touch them with a 10-foot pole. But someone like Keemstar can probably work around that and get it done. I'm not sure who DSP is trying to, lure into this project, but it's going to fail. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.